unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Gentlemen, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Don't be that guy running to the store for flowers and a card on your way home. Let Sartor Heyman Jewelers help you be a hero this Valentine's Day. We have great gifts in store now, and if you spend $129, we'll throw in a free bouquet of roses. Give her what she really wants this year and let us do the rest. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, your hometown jeweler since 1905. In Lincoln and Grand Island and online at sartorheyman.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket sports news go now.
This is Nick Whyman with your sports update. Nebraska softball began the 2026 Shriners Children's Invitational with a bang by shutting out LSU in a 6-0 win. Alexis Jensen grabbed the win in the circle after tossing 4 scoreless innings with just 1 hit and 7 strikeouts. Jordy Fromm came in and closed out the game and struck out 4 batters in 3 innings. Offensively, Fromm went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a double. Along with this, the Huskers dropped a 6-5 ball game to Georgia later that evening. Nebraska softball is back in action on Friday, February 13th against Tennessee with the first pitch scheduled for 11 a.m. in Clearwater, Florida. Nebraska baseball takes the field for the first time in 2026 on Friday against the Yukon Huskies. Ty Horn will be the opening day starting pitcher for the Cornhuskers. That game between Nebraska and Yukon can be seen on MLB Network with first pitch scheduled for 7 p.m. Central Time. The Nebraska women's basketball team suffered an 84-67 loss to the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Bert Prince led the Nebraska offense with 15 points in the conference loss. With this loss, the Huskers are on a 4-game losing streak and have now dropped 7 of their last 9 ball games. Nebraska is now 16-9 overall on the season and plays on Monday, February 16th at Pinnacle Bank Arena against the Iowa Hawkeyes. That game will tip off at 11 a.m. on Fox. At the 2026 Winter Olympics, the United States men's hockey team began tournament play with a 5-1 victory over Latvia. USA plays next on Saturday at 2 p.m. Central Time against Denmark. And for all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's been a busy day in sports. A lot has happened while you were up to your eyeballs in work. Catch up on what went down in Nebraska athletics, college sports, and your favorite pro sports leagues. This is Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Sponsored by Canopy Street Market. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Welcome in. Late Night in Lincoln. Nick Whyman here. 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Happy Thursday evening, everybody. I'm in a good mood. A lot of Husker action going on today. Husker softball splitting their first two games in the Shriners Children's Invitational down in Clearwater, Florida. We saw Nebraska baseball. They're coming up here. Less than 24 hours until opening day of the 2026 NCAA college baseball season. It feels like baseball weather outside here in the capital city. No snow on the ground. I'm hopefully I didn't jinx it. We're in false spring, as Harrison's talked the last couple nights with me here. We've seen false spring. We've seen snow. We've seen it all. You got to be prepared for it all in Nebraska. But enough talk about the weather. Let's get into sports around Huskerland. But before we do that, if you want to join the conversation, this is just you and me. You guys are a part of this conversation. I'm here on 1040 O Street for the next hour. You guys can join. 402-464-5685, the Sarah Heyman Julius text line. Let's chat about it. Let's have a conversation. We have plenty to talk about on the rundown today. We're going to start Husker softball. They got it going early this morning at 9 a.m. We'll talk about Husker baseball, kind of an opening day preview about what to expect out of tomorrow for their 7 o'clock first pitch Central Time against the Yukon Huskies. We'll dive into Nebraska women's basketball. They played tonight in Minnesota against the Golden Gophers in a loss. They've now dropped 7 of their last 9 games, and they will host Iowa on a rare Monday 11 a.m. tip at Pinnacle Bank Arena. We'll get into that one and dive into just kind of what led to the Golden Gophers being successful and picking up a home win over the Cornhuskers. And the NBA All-Star Weekend is coming up. Yay or nay? Yay or nay? Do people still watch the All-Star game? Are people still invested into All-Star Weekend with the dunk contest, the 3-point contest? Are people still? Has everything been done? We'll get into that as well. And then it wouldn't be late night without some Olympic talk with United States men's hockey playing their first preliminary game today against Latvia. And the women are gearing up for a quarterfinal match tomorrow afternoon, actually, against Italy, which the United States women hockey team, man, they are rolling 20 goals and only giving up 1 so far. They look unstoppable so far through preliminary play, 4 matches in. And that's the rundown so far. So we'll start. If you want to join the conversation, 402-464-5685. And if something happens, let me know. There's sports going on, wrapping up around 10 o'clock Central Time. West Coast, 11 in this hour. Something's got to give. News happens. News doesn't stop at 10 o'clock. Stuff happens, and that's why I'm here. That's why we're here at The Ticket. And if you need somebody to talk to and you want to talk sports, that's why I am here from 11 to midnight in the capital city. So let's start. Nebraska softball, 3-2 last weekend in San Antonio. 3-2 record, you say, doesn't jump out to you, but look at the quality of opponents. Split with Washington, split with number 1 Texas time. Nebraska losing 15-10 to Texas, and then less than 24 hours later come back and beat them. And then beat UTSA, the host site of the Invitational, and leave that weekend with 3 wins, 1 over UTSA, 1 over top-ranked Texas, and 1 over Washington to begin the season. Go to today, the Shriners Children's Invitational in Clearwater, Florida, marquee tournament on the NCAA softball calendar. There are so many ranked teams playing in this tournament, so many quality teams playing in this tournament. You would be It's just really cool to see not only Nebraska, but just in general, these teams playing so many quality opponents right off the bat to start the season. If you watch on TV today, Nebraska, if you listen to Early Break, which goes from 6 to 9 here on the ticket, Nebraska softball right after played at 9 a.m., bright and early, local time here, 10 o'clock down in Clearwater. Nebraska played LSU, another top 15 team, another really good team. SEC softball, there are a lot of really good ranked teams in that conference. And Nebraska playing the best of the best, as we've seen the first 20 games are getting tested right out of the gate before Big Ten play kicks into high gear in March. So this one, Nebraska, 2 scoreless innings to start. Third inning, Jessie Farrell got everything started for Nebraska. UNLV transfer. Talked about her last week, about how she's kind of really come into the role behind the plate, but also at the plate. UNLV transfer, first at bat as a Husker, hits a home run. Game's a scoreless game against LSU, kind of a pitcher's duel throughout the first 2 innings. Double in the left center field. Gives Nebraska a lead, 1-0, spark plug. Gets the offense going, gets the Huskers going. Later on, error leads to a run. Fly out. Nebraska takes a 3-0 lead on LSU. LSU's kind of lost all momentum. The 4th inning is what really did Nebraska. 4 of their 6 runs came that inning. You get an throwing error, you get a sac fly, and then who's up at the plate? Jordy Fromm, double. Lauren Camazon scores. Nebraska extends their lead. That was one of the 2 big hits that Jordy Fromm had in this game. We'll get to that other one here in a second. But when she's playing at a high level and her teammates are continuing to play, Nebraska's going to be a tough team to beat. We'll obviously recap the game afterwards, but let's just stay in the moment and talk about this one game against LSU. Hannah Camazon comes up, double left field, drive in from in that 4th inning. The drive in that 4th run of that inning. So Nebraska takes a 5-0 lead, a commanding lead over the Tigers. And to put the cherry on top, Jordy Fromm's next at bat, single up the middle. Bland scores 6-0. LSU did have the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th, so there was a little bit of momentum that LSU could have captured, maybe if they get like a bloop or a blast or something there. But Jordy Fromm, two scoreless innings to close it down and give Nebraska the win. The biggest takeaway, I mean, Jessie Farrell, putting her in that role and being able to just succeed right off the bat, that's what you want to see. The moment's not too big, going from Mount West school and going right to the Big Ten. Stats were great at UNLV, but it clearly translates early on here to Power 4 softball. Another note, the pitching is what Nebraska, I think, is going to lean on a lot, especially in games like this against top-tier competition. True freshman Lexus Jensen, Gretna High School graduate, now 2-0 on the season, picks up her 2nd win in this one against LSU. 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Not walking batters, not giving up base runners, striking out hitters, and just being efficient. I think that's what is going to be good for Nebraska, because you're not relying on Jordy Fromm to pitch all the innings. You have a true freshman who's clearly stepped into the role and been able to play high caliber opponents and be able to handle the pressure. Because not many true freshmen can do that in sports in general. It's tough to do. And then Jordy Fromm, 3 innings out of the bullpen, I should say. She was at first base. Gets the first save. Allowed 5 hits, but no walks. 4 strikeouts. Gets the job done. Wins a win. So Nebraska was able to start Clearwater out in the Shriners Children's Invitational with a win. However, then they had Georgia. You know, you get the 9 o'clock game, got over around 11 local time here in Nebraska, and you had a little bit of a breather. There's a little 4-hour gap to collect yourself, control what you can control. You know, get back in the win column, but there's no time to breathe. You got to play number 20 Georgia now. Georgia's another team really good. Georgia coming in with 2 losses, kind of like Nebraska. They were in kind of the same boat. They started the year against some tough teams, suffered some losses, but here they are. Played this game. About 2,000 fans were at these games. There's a lot of softball going on, a lot of games going on. And it's just a nice atmosphere. It's like a mini, regional, essentially. Because you have Oklahoma State playing in this one. You have Duke. You have so many other teams that are ranked and competitive in the Power 4 level playing. This game was a little different. This game, 6-5 loss to Georgia. Nebraska out-hit Georgia, 11-9. But Nebraska had 2 errors. And those errors came back to bite Nebraska. Nebraska also dug themselves in the hole. After 2 innings of play, Nebraska was down 3-0. That's detrimental, falling down. But who got the Nebraska offense started? I'll give you one guess. Jesse Farrell. Double left field. Scores 3-1. Spark plug. If you're going to come up in a situation where you're going to need to fire up the offense in some way, Jesse Farrell's been that player. To step up to the occasion, get Nebraska rolling. Ava Kuzak then singled in that same inning to make it a 1-run game, 3-2. But that's when Georgia then extended their lead in that 3rd inning where they just put up 4 more runs. Comes 6-2 in the bottom of the 3rd. After 3 innings, 6-2. You're down. You didn't give up a run to LSU. However, Georgia's kind of figured it out. And Georgia was able to figure out Alexis Jensen, who got the start. And 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. And then things kind of unraveled from there as the Pen had to try to close it down. 6-2. Nebraska did show a little bit of fight. Melias Helms flied out to center to drive in Bland on a sac fly. Who would have thought it? Jesse Farrell. Another home run. Another home run for Jesse Farrell. Probably your MVP of the day for Nebraska in general, I would say. Up there. I mean, Alexis Jensen that first game and Jordy Fromm, the dynamic duo of them in the circle to shut down LSU is very impressive. But at the plate, Jesse Farrell has been on fire to start the season. I know it's only week 2, but you'd like to start off hot. And if you're hitting like that and being able to cut deficits and put yourself in front early, you found yourself a hitter. And Jesse Farrell's been that. Hannah Kamasan had a single in center field to drive in Jordy Fromm in the 7th inning, but too little too late. Georgia gets out of it, 6-5 loss. Nebraska goes 1-1 on the first day of this tournament in Florida. I mean, control what you can control, the highs and the lows of the season. You're not going to win them all, especially when you're playing this kind of a schedule where you're playing ranked team after ranked team and top-tier softball programs left and right. And it's not like it was a blowout. Georgia just had a big inning. One big inning, kind of controlled it. 2 errors happened, and Nebraska just couldn't get out of jams, and the Bulldogs took advantage of that. So split that game, beat LSU 6-0, lose to Georgia 6-5. We're sitting here at 11, a little bit past 11 o'clock at night. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time. Kind of the mark. I mean, it's one of the. I want to say which game is more marquee, but I can't because those 2 games today were marquee. Tomorrow, Nebraska got number 3 Tennessee at 11 a.m. Central Time in this tournament at the Eddie Seymour Complex in Clearwater. This game, flashback a couple months ago, these two, the Vols and the Huskers, met in the Super Regionals to get a berth in the Women's College World Series in 2025. Nebraska was a couple runs away from a game away from getting to the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City. Ball rolled Tennessee's way, and Tennessee was able to knock off. This is kind of a revenge game for Nebraska. A lot of the same names, a lot of players from last year's team still on Nebraska's roster. And you're playing a Tennessee team who's another top 5 quality opponent, SEC softball. Start the tournament with 3 SEC teams. And if you win 2 of those 3, I mean, it's a pretty solid start to a tournament, an invitational. So that's their one game tomorrow. And they're back on Saturday, 12:30 against Central Florida, the only non-ranked team they play. Big 12 team, though. Power 4. And then Sunday, I was saying, you can't, I would try to label which game's marquee and which one's not. I just can't. You have number 1, Texas Tech, on the schedule for Sunday at 5 o'clock. Texas Tech, runner-up in last year's Women's College World Series. They're still legit. Nebraska get a crack at them on Sunday. So the next Couple days of softball for Nebraska. You got one game each day. You got the 2-day, the doubleheader day out of the way. Split those ones, learn from it, grow from it, and get back at it. Playing number 3 and number 1 over the course of the next 3 days in the polls. 2 teams who were in the Women's College World Series less than a year ago. Great opportunity. Should be fun to watch those games. Like I said, 11 a.m. tomorrow, Nebraska and Tennessee. Rematch of last year's Super Regional. Should be a fun time. We got about 5 more minutes. You're still with me. 402-464-5685. Nebraska softball. Just got done talking about that. Nebraska baseball. Opening day is here. Well, tomorrow, about 40 minutes from the top of the hour. Opening day is almost here for NCAA baseball. Fun time. Opening day, as I said the other night, opening day for baseball and softball. There's just another feeling to it than any other sport. Just the way it, I don't know, the weather's nice. We've been blessed here in Nebraska, the weather. We don't have a foot of snow on the ground. Feels like sometimes when that happens, when Nebraska goes out of town to begin the baseball season in Arizona, Texas, or wherever they usually play. They played a couple games in California before, Florida, you name it. Texas. I've said them once. They've played a ton of games there usually. But they'll be in Scottsdale, Arizona. Tomorrow, Friday, February 13th, they play at 7 o'clock Central Time against the UConn Huskies. That game can be seen on the MLB Network. So Nebraska baseball, they have so many returners. They have a decent amount of returners. Joshua Overbeck, Max Butenbach, Will Jeske, Devin Nunez. Just to name a few. Those are a couple guys to look at. You have tomorrow, Ty Horn will be the opening day starter. He was kind of the number 2 last year. He kind of like grew, finished strong last year. So you look at the stats. He had 4-4 overall record, a 4.94 ERA, 17 starts, and 85 innings logged. The year before in 2024, he only pitched 21 innings. So be able to step up and take a role and be able to just log a lot of innings for this Husker team. There's a lot of expectations with this Husker team, too. I think back-to-back Big Ten championships. The regular season, I think people would like to see them win a little bit more. You know, there's some midweek games. Those games kind of slip up. You know, you're playing a team. You play your weekend games. Then you go into like a Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you slip up. I'd like to see teams just kind of handle that, but it's baseball. You can't win them all. It's hard to do. You play 50-plus games just in the regular season. It's hard to win and sweep and whatnot. But yeah, Ty Horn will be the starter tomorrow for Nebraska. Charlie West, a left-handed pitcher, will be pitching for UConn. UConn, you look at their team, had the same coach since 2004. They've been the Big East regular season champion 3 years in a row. Last year, they went 38-21 in 2025. You look at their postseason, they've been playing in recent memory. They've been a competitive team come postseason play. 2022, they were in a super regional. 2021, they were a regional. 34-plus wins since 2021. Obviously, 2020 is an outlier because the season got canceled after playing so many games, but consistent program. The Huskies have a consistent baseball program. So play some tough teams off the bat. And then Saturday, look, Carson Yasa is going to take the ball, right-handed pitcher for Nebraska. It's going to be interesting how this weekend shakes out because Nebraska has struggled in opening games. They've seen them beat teams like Vanderbilt before, though, in opening tournaments. They've seen them play some tough teams. The first weekend, I would not take it with a grain of salt. You're playing solid teams. You're playing UConn. Like I mentioned, they are the cream of the crop almost in the Big East in recent memory. Have they won the Big East tournament? No. But they've been regular season champions the past 3 years. Playing Northeastern, usually a team that makes the regionals. Give some teams fits in postseason play. And you got Grand Canyon, another team. Nebraska's played them 3 consecutive seasons. And then you play Stanford, who is always good at baseball. I feel like there's been years where they've been top teams. We'll see what happens out of this one. It'll be interesting. A note, Jeter Worley, Lincoln East grad, he's set to become the first Husker to start as a true freshman behind the dish on opening day this century for Nebraska. Lineups obviously are not out yet, but if that happens, that is pretty historic. A pretty historic thing. And then it'll be potentially the catcher for Ty Horn. I'm excited. Baseball season is always very exciting. Nebraska, they are rocking the black uniforms this year. They announced that earlier on social media the other day. They are donning black uniforms throughout the season. I like it. Mix it up. They usually have some pretty good uniforms, and you can add that one to the collection. I mean, why not? Why not? So speaking about Ty Horn, you look at him, 4-4 record, almost a 5 ERA. He finished strong, as mentioned, 4-0 in his last 8 starts. 4-0, 2.78 ERA, 36 strikeouts, and 45 in a third inning. And teams only hit 224 against him toward the end of the year. He was on fire. Big Ten tournament, he was a guy that Nebraska leaned on. So if you have that, I mean, if he's back to where he was at the end of the year last year compared to the start of the year, you're looking at a Friday night ace. He's going to be the Friday night guy going forward. And Nebraska's hoping that that's what it's going to be. I wouldn't over-dramatize. Let's say things go rogue or something. It's one game. Baseball is not like football where you only play 12 games. You have plenty of opportunities. Your weekends are full of games. Midweek games start coming up. It should be fun. I think it will be very interesting to see this team. The transfers are another. Nebraska brought in 2 big transfers. Jet Buck from Washburn. That is a very good baseball name, by the way. Jet Buck should be the second baseman for the Huskers. That should be a very fun name. And then Cole Kitchens from Southern Indiana is the other one. Those are the 2 transfers that Nebraska will be looking at. But we'll see tomorrow. You got a full day. You got softball at 11 a.m. against Tennessee. And then you have baseball to cap off your night. So your Friday night set. You also have wrestling tomorrow night as well. Before we go to break, there was a scary situation with Iowa Lakes Community College baseball. They were in a crash that took the life of a young player. That's awful to see. Just sad situation. There is a Nebraska native by the name of Owen Glassburner. He played baseball at Waverly High School, just a little bit outside of Lincoln. Just a sad situation, and prayers to everybody in that. Everybody involved in that, the families, the teams, because I can't imagine being a part of a team that's 20-ish guys, coaches, and you end up having that kind of situation happen. Just a sad thing to see, and especially this early in the season, because these guys are, baseball players are warriors. You go to battle for each other every play, every out. It's sad to see. But yeah, on that note, we'll be back. We'll talk about Nebraska women's basketball. They got done playing at the barn up in Minnesota on that levitated court a couple weeks back. Nebraska men escaped with a win out there. We'll recap that game for the Nebraska women's basketball team when we come back here. This is Late Night Lincoln. Nick Whyman. See you guys on the other side of this break.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all of the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
I am Harrison Arns, producer of Ticket Weeknights and Weekends right here at 93.7 The Ticket. My favorite things to do in downtown Lincoln are checking out all the local sports events, whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or even Lincoln Stars hockey. I enjoy it all because I get to experience one of the best sports communities in the country.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
If you have a fence, patio, or landscaping project to complete this spring, Sunbelt Rentals is here to help with augers and auger drives in various sizes, plus electric concrete mixers. For tree trimming projects, they have a great selection of chainsaws, pole saws, and hedge trimmers, along with a towable lift or ladder to get you where you need to be. Sunbelt Rentals has everything you need to make your spring projects easy. Sunbelt Rentals, online at sunbeltrentals.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Welcome back, 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com. Late Night in Lincoln with Nick Whyman with you for another half hour here on The Ticket. Just got done talking about Husker Softball's Day down in Clearwater. Nebraska baseball gearing up on the other side of the state's in Arizona tomorrow to begin their 2026 campaign. Let's go to the northern part of the United States now. Nebraska women's basketball tonight played against Minnesota, just looking to get a win. Nebraska loses of 6 of their last 8 coming into tonight, and just desperate for a win. They've had 0-7 against top 25 teams this year, have not had the ball roll their way against teams like Wisconsin. They've had opportunities against ranked teams, against Michigan State, USC, Iowa, you name it. They just have not been able to finish games, or one quarter goes haywire and then the opposition jumps on it. So tonight, Minnesota coming in, Nebraska needed a team that was just desperate for a win. Minnesota, on the other hand, 6 games coming in, one of the hottest teams in the Big Ten. Had a win over Iowa a week ago. And the Gophers came out like they were on a 6-game winning streak. Halftime score was 40-19. Minnesota had a lead. Nebraska trailed by as many as 21 at one point. Let's look at the first half stats here. Nebraska, 34% from the floor, 9 of 26, 3-point, 2 for 10, 20%. Minnesota made 19 shots, 19 for 34, which is near 56% from the floor, 30% for 3, 3 of 10. Minnesota's 3-point shooting was not, didn't jump out. That wasn't why. In today's day and age basketball, if you hit the 3-pointer, you're going to score more points. If you hit it at a high percentage, you're going to win a lot of games. That wasn't the case here. They only made 4 3-point shots, 4 for 14 for the Gophers. However, you dive into the field goal percentage, they shot 53%, 31 of 59 in the 84-67 win over Nebraska. The stat that jumps out the most, both teams had 16 turnovers. Okay, Nebraska shot 41% from the floor. Nebraska shot 35% from the 3-point line. The stat that jumps out in this game was Minnesota finished with 52 points in the paint. 52 of their 84 points were in the paint. That's 62% of their points came inside the paint. And Minnesota just was able to get to the basket at will and be able to take some good looks, some high, quality shots. And nobody really the starters. Let's go down the list of how many rebounds each of these players had. 5, 6, 5, 5, 6. Their bench 4 and 1, 0-0. So the rebounds were spread out. It wasn't a lot of offensive rebounds either. Both teams had about the same. Minnesota had 11. Nebraska had 10. But Amaya Battle had 21 points, 7 of 15 shooting, no threes. And Mara Braun, in 39 of the 40 minutes she played, 15 points. They led the charge for Minnesota's offense. And if you want to join in the discussion here, we're talking Nebraska women's basketball. If you're watching on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, on YouTube, or on Allo channel 961. Text in 402-464-5685 on the Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line. I'm here, but this conversations can go 2 ways. It's you and me. And I will read your text, and we can have a conversation. But Nebraska, Britt Prince led the way with 15 points. Jessica Petrie, 14. Maya Hargrove, 13. Logan Nisley, 12. Outside of that, everybody else below 5 points. And that's just how it went down. They were able to limit Nebraska's top scorers in the first half, which led to 19 points to that 21-point deficit. Britt Prince led the team in rebounding with 7. Hargrove had 6. Jessica Petrie had 5. The stat that jumps out at me is Nebraska was down 26-13 after the first quarter. Minnesota had a huge lead. They were able to get to the basket and do their dirty work in the paint. And they did that often and at a high rate. And then 23-17 in that second quarter, which led to the 40-19 half. After that happened, Nebraska was able to kind of get back in it, weather the storm. 22-11 in the third quarter. Be able to hit some tough shots down the stretch there and grab some momentum. Cut into that deficit. Nebraska in the fourth quarter got it down to 6 points. Down 21-6. I was getting kind of deja vu from Purdue, Nebraska a couple days ago in the men's basketball game. But Minnesota was able to get to the basket again. and make their bunnies, make their layups, make their free throws, and do it at a high rate. As I said, 62% of their points were in the paint. And they were able to just use the duo, as mentioned, of Battle and Braun and get to the bucket. All starters in double figures for them. Hart, McKinney, all double figures. Nebraska was just, at the time, they're just struggling to find ways to win. They lost 7 of their last 9, fall to 5-9 in Big Ten play. All losses of the Big Ten teams. But they're starting to kind of trickle down the Big Ten standings, and the regular season is coming to a close soon, and they are going to find themselves in a tough uphill climb for Big Ten seeding, for the Big Ten tournament. But Minnesota, they are on a roll right now. Minnesota, you look at their schedule, they lost back-to-back games at UCLA, which UCLA is number 3 in the nation at that time, and they're still beating everybody. The Bruins are legit. They're going to probably be a number 1 seed come the NCAA tournament. They're going to be up there. Lose to Washington. Since that Washington loss, they beat Oregon, Wisconsin, Penn State, Purdue, number 10 Iowa, Rutgers, and now Nebraska. They are on a 7-game winning streak, and they have they can prove it this coming week. They got Ohio State on the 18th, who's number 8, and then they have Michigan State on the 22nd. Between those games, they have Wisconsin on the 15th, and March 1st, they have Illinois. So, Minnesota, you're peaking at the right time. You're peaking at the right time if you were the Gophers. Nebraska, on the other hand, as mentioned, started the year rolling, dropped both back-to-back games of USC and Iowa. Then beat Purdue and Indiana to get back on it. Then the 3-game skid with UCLA, Michigan State, Wisconsin, 2 heartbreakers in there. Then get back on the winning skid with beating Illinois and Northwestern, gather some momentum, but then you run into Ohio State and Columbus, run into Michigan in Ann Arbor. Hung around in that one, too. Same with the Ohio State one, then just one quarter kind of got out of it. Maryland the other day, on Saturday, last Saturday, Maryland, it was 22. Nebraska fell in that one by 18 points. And then tonight, Minnesota, points in the paint, were able to jump out to a 40-19 halftime lead. And Nebraska did, they were down 21. They were able to claw back, but it wasn't enough as Minnesota was able to kind of make an adjustment there in the fourth quarter and able to pull back ahead and win 84-67. Road ahead for Nebraska. They only got 4 more regular season games left. They'll play Monday, President's Day. They'll play an 11 a.m. game on Fox against Iowa, another ranked team. Nebraska, again, 0-7 against ranked teams this year. They have to find a way. They get a home game against a rival. Should be a fun one. 11 a.m. Bring your own energy. We'll see what it's like. 11 a.m. on Monday. That'll get some getting used to because usually they play a Sunday game. 11 a.m. on a Monday. Reminder. After that game, they'll take the West Coast trip on the 19th. They'll play at Oregon. The 22nd, they'll play against number 25 Washington, another ranked team. And then they end the regular season on the 28th against Rutgers. So there's opportunity still there. 2 of the next 4 against ranked teams. Oregon and Rutgers is there too. Currently, they're projected to be on the 8-9 seed level. 8 or a 9 seed, depending on. There's a lot they can shake out too with the mid-majors, who wins what and whatnot, and what happens in the other conferences and the rest of over these next 4 games heading into Big Ten tournament play. A lot can change. A lot can happen. Right now, the projection is 8 or 9 seed that have to play. If they do end up winning that first round game in the NCAA tournament, they have to play a team like UConn, who UConn doesn't really slip up in the NCAA women's basketball tournament. Gino Auriemma usually is able to win by 20-plus points in that first weekend of the maybe 30-plus points sometimes against those 16 seeds from time to time in the NCAA tournament. So you just got to find a way to win. Find a way. Bert Prince is scoring 15, 7 rebounds tonight, but a cold start. First half shot 34%, only made 2 threes. Minnesota was able to 55.9, basically 56%, 19 shots made. Didn't shoot, they only took 10 threes in the first half, but they were able to just get to the paint. 24 of their shots were inside the arc and able to take advantage of that and score. 7 straight wins for Minnesota, though. That is a nice feat for them. They're rolling. Nebraska 16-9 overall, 5-9 now in the Big Ten. So Monday is I wouldn't say a must win, but at this point, the losses keep adding up, and they are in a situation where you 0-7 against ranked teams, and people are going to see that when the brackets come out. You're going to need some wins over ranked teams, especially a team like Iowa. Nebraska has beaten them, beat Caden Clark here a couple years ago. So, should be a fun one. When we come back, we're going to do a little do's and notes around. We're going to talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend. Yay or nay? Are you interested or are you not? Let me hear on the text line if you're interested. 402-464-5685. We'll talk about the women's hockey and men's hockey for the United States in the Olympics as the men open preliminary play today against Latvia. The women are in the quarterfinal action tomorrow after going 4-0 in preliminary play. And then we'll plug a couple things that are going to be on here on the ticket going into tomorrow on Friday. So, Late Night Lincoln, Nick Whyman. Stick with us here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Is your furnace ready for winter? Call Bryant to perform a thorough check for comfort and peace of mind. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Whatever it takes.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first. Now is the time to get a glimpse into living and learning at Doane University through a personalized in-person or virtual visit. We know once you experience Doane, you'll see why it's a place where you can achieve your goals and shape your future. Schedule your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And electrical.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. We're serving up a $5.99 meal deal that includes a one-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side, and a drink, all for just $5.99. Craving brisket? Upgrade to our tender, slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Welcome back. Late Night in Lincoln with Nick Whyman, 94.7 The Ticket and TicketFM.com. If you're watching on Facebook, X, YouTube, or Outlet Channel 961, we got one more segment for you tonight. Let's talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend. Basically the halfway point of the season, a little bit under. Do people still care about the NBA All-Star Game? It's a situation where the game is not really a game anymore. USA versus World. It's on NBC now this first year. The dunk contest. I mean, the dunk contest, I think, is a discussion of its own. It is a situation where you don't have the stars playing in it. Let's look at the contestants this year, the NBA dunk contest. We've seen the past couple of years, every dunk has kind of been done. Let's look at the contestants. We got Carter Bryant on the Spurs. He's a rookie forward. Jackson Hayes. He's one of the posts for the Lakers, 7-foot-tall center. He's seeking to be the first 7-footer to win the event, even too. It's kind of a little guys, shorter guys kind of game. Like, you know, Spud Webb's a memorable one because it's Spud Webb. Deshaun Johnson, Miami Heat player, hasn't really played a lot in the NBA. He's played about, plays garbage time most of the time. He had a couple of games when the Heat had a couple of injuries. He's one of them. And then Jace Richardson, Jackson Hayes is the most notable player on this list, but Jace Richardson from the Orlando Magic, he's another rookie. The note about him is he is the son of Jason Richardson, the former NBA player who was a 2-time slam dunk champion. So that is the lineup for the dunk contest. I don't know. I mean, pick your poison who you want to win that one. Mac McClung has kind of been the guy the last couple of years to throw down the dunks and be the guy. It was basically him versus the field, and he had done it all. And he was kind of everybody just was there to watch Mac McClung the last couple of years. Let me lean over here. We got a caller here. It's 11:52 here at night. Let's see what we got here. 90% of the ticket. Who we got here? Remember, always keep it clean. Who we got here? You're live here on 94.7 Ticket, Late Night in Lincoln. You can hear us. I guess not. We'll see. Can you hear us? 94.7 The Ticket. This is Nick Whyman, Late Night in Lincoln.
Yo, what's up, Nick? First time, long time. Love the show.
What's the name we got here?
Travis.
Travis, how we doing? How you doing on this late night? 11:52 here night. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so you're talking about the slam dunk contest and NBA All-Star Weekend, and I've always been a big fan of the slam dunk contest, and I kind of want to sort of say my side of the story because I hear everybody say everything's been done and the stars don't do it anymore. Part of that is true. I will concede that statement does have some truth to it, but I got to tell you something. I'm still excited about the dunk contest because not everything has been done. There's YouTube channels, Team Flight Brothers, Dunkademics. that have compilation videos of hundreds of pro dunkers doing dunks that have never been done in the slam dunk contest. And you may think, well, then why don't I just watch those guys? Well, those guys have always been ahead of the curve. The And One Tour, guys like T-Dub and Guy Dupuis were doing dunks that Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon copied in the greatest dunk contest of all time. So I like seeing guys who can actually play basketball, execute some of these high-level dunks. And there's still like at least 6 genres of dunk we haven't even touched yet. And my second point is, yes, the Stars don't do it anymore, but the Stars really only did it back in like the 1980s. When you think of the recent Stars who have done it, Vince Carter, he did that in his second year. Kobe Bryant, he did that as a rookie. We didn't, they were obviously good out of the gate, more so than these rookies have been, but we didn't know they were going to be these all-time legends of the game at that point in their careers yet. So, maybe Carter Bryant becomes an important piece on the Spurs teams, and they go on some runs with Wembanyama, and then you look back at him years later like, oh, that's a notable player who won the slam dunk contest. And just because these guys are rookies doesn't mean that they can't still be great players, further down the line. And you look back at them and think, oh, that's when a star did the dunk contest, but they just weren't a star yet. This is a chance to make some stars. So I'm curious what you think about that.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Travis, for stopping in. I wanted to touch on some other topics, but yes, the NBA dunk contest, yeah, it's not the Stars, but I think the Stars is what makes the viewers. It'd be like if the MLB All-Star game or whatever, the MLB home run derby, guys who don't hit home runs would do it. Rookie guy just called up from AAA. Hey, you're doing the home run derby. I mean, obviously they'd be able to do it, but people want to see the stars. People want to see the guys who are like the All-Stars. People want to see like guys like Giannis. People want to see guys like SGA. People want to see LeBron. People want to see the stars. I think this could be another conversation for another day, but that is all I have for you. Let me try to dump this here real quick, but that is all I have for you tonight. Also, USA Hockey tomorrow. Women are playing at 2:00 against Italy. Men won their first game today against Latvia, 5-1. NHL players back at the USA, 5-1 win, start preliminary round. They will play Denmark on Saturday. So that is all I have for you today. Tomorrow, Husker Wrestling post-match coverage will be around 9:00 after they face Illinois. They also face Indiana on Sunday. That'll be sometime in the afternoon, 1:00. That is an 11:00 start against Indiana. But that is all. Baseball starting tomorrow, softball as well as 11 a.m. Good time in Huskerland. A lot going on. Nebraska men's basketball, obviously on Saturday as well, playing at noon against Northwestern. We'll have post-game coverage of that around 2:00 right here at 94.7 The Ticket. So signing off, 94.7 Ticket, ticketfm.com. Thank you all for chiming in. Thank you for calling in, Travis. Pretty good night here. You all have a great night. We'll see you early break tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Have a good night, everybody.